Welcome back to a brand new spoiler review of the HBO show Euphoria. We're talking about the highly talked about episode 5. Welcome back to a brand new video here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Denenberg, and I love to talk about movies, TV shows, and the box office. If you like any one of those things, please consider subscribing, ringing that bell for notifications. You're notified when those videos come out. Also, if you're new, I've already done the past 4 episodes of this season broken down, as well as the 2 special episodes. So I have 6 episodes in total already broken down in spoiler fashion. So go back and watch those and then come back as well to watch this spoiler review of episode 5. And I'll be back the next 3 weeks breaking down the episode 5 as well. Let me know your thoughts of this episode in the comment section down below. Your thoughts, your bold predictions for the final 3 weeks of the show. And also like the video, the thumbs up button. Let's get started. So I said last week, that's probably my favorite episode. Now, this is definitely overtaking last week. This is definitely the best episode of the season. And I am believing that season 2 is better than season 1. And this episode has put a cement in that because this is a unbelievably acted, written, directed, shot episode of the season thus far. Because as I said, the last 20 minutes left me pretty speechless. And I would say the first 25 minutes of the episode left me pretty speechless too in this episode, because basically the first 15 minutes or so is basically like a one take. It felt like it was, where Rue is back home. This basically is a Zendaya episode. And this episode alone should basically garner her an Emmy win for the 2nd straight season, because this is a unbelievably acted show. So let's break down the episode. So the episode starts, as I said, in Rue's house, because her mom's kind of like, why are you smoking weed? And she's like, oh, my sister, why did she rat me out? And then things get dramatic once her mom brings up that she's been doing pills. And Rue's kind of like, haven't been doing pills. And her mom's like, Jules told me everything. And you're like, oh my God. So Jules, after Elliot told her what happened last week at the end of the episode, Jules told her mom. Huge argument that is so intense, so emotional, but so real between a daughter and a mother. And they completely bring up one of the biggest reasons why she's in this position, Rue, is because her dad died and how much her dad really meant to her. And we see later in the episode, her eulogy speech at the, whatever it is, not the funeral, but whatever you call it when you're at home at a person's house and doing it, whatever you call it. She did a funeral. And last week we saw that in between life and death was her hugging her father, and how, she blames her mom for a lot of what's happened to her and her sister even, which I thought was really interesting. Storm Reed is back in the show this episode as well. And it becomes really intense when Rue is like all over the mom, and then all over the sister, and then her mom locks them out, and then she kicks the door down. She's kind of a mess because she learns the briefcase, the suitcase that had all the drugs and that she got from the drug dealer earlier in the season was gone. And then Rue kept saying, where is it? Where is it? And then you hear Jules in the background saying, we flushed it down the toilet. You're like, oh my God. And then Rue walks into the other room and Jules is sitting there and Elliot is sitting there. And it just gets on a whole other level because, first of all, Rue goes on Elliot for like 2 seconds, but it's really about Jules and how she says, like, the biggest mistake, the biggest regret of my life was meeting you, because the place where I was at my worst, you got on that train and left. And how she's completely blamed Jules for basically her downfall, because she said that in her worst time, Jules left her. And then if you remember back in episode 1 of this season, when they were sitting at the bonfire, Jules says, when's the last time you relapsed? And Rue said, the moment you left. So it's been all about that big moment at the end of season 1 that has actually set Rue again on this course. Got mad at home on Domingo last week, and this week all over her mom and sister. So her mom's like, well, go to the ER. And Rue kind of calms down after that. They're going off on Jules. She sees Elliot smoking outside as they're leaving. And her mom's like, oh yeah, we're going to go to rehab. Because Rue kind of opens up and says that she relapsed when she got out of rehab. And then she's like, well, I thought you said ER. She's like, isn't it the same thing? So then Rue gets out of the car, and the rest of the episode basically becomes a chase scene for like 30 minutes where we're just going through all these different buildings, characters, all these things. The first biggest thing is that she actually does go to Lexi's house. Lexi opens the door. She's like, I got a cold. And Lexi, and then the mom, and then all the way it comes down is Maddie, Kat, and Cassie. They're all there. And then I was not even thinking about that Rue watched, they showed it in the recap. I still forgot that Rue did see Cassie going up to Nate's car in like a very cheerful way earlier in the season. So Cassie says something like, you got to take it day by day. And I started cracking up. And then it gets super intense because Rue says, I have a question for you. And I was like, oh my God, she's going to ask about Nate. And she asked, when did you start hooking up with Nate? And the whole episode like stopped. It was like a funny, this whole sequence at Cassie's house is all very much a dark comedy. It's super dark what's actually happening. It's supposed to be an intervention and best friends fighting, but it turned out to be kind of a comedy as well. The dark comedy was so good in that scene. And then the anxiety comes back, and Sydney Sweeney does a great job, really the whole season, but this episode too, just like last episode with her anxiety, it just built up. And Maddie started losing her mind. Kat was like, why would you even do that? And Maddie's like, I'm about to get violent. And the mom's kind of like, stop. And then Cassie's mom's like, stop. We're doing an intervention. And then Rue's mom is kind of like, you guys got to stop. We're trying, do it in a different room. But as they're fighting, they go up the stairs. Rue escapes. And Rue tries to go to Fez's house. Fez is not there to answer. Goes to a random person's house who's very rich, steals, and then is in a chase with the police. Which was really intense because she's clearly sick and just needing stuff. Then she goes to Fez's house for the second time. This time Fez answers. He's like, again, everyone's like, you kind of look like crap. She's like, I get it. She's like, I need to use the bathroom. Actually, she's faking just so she can look for pills because Fez said no. I think they go to Faye's room and she wants to steal some of Faye's pills. And Fez is like, you can't do this. Like, it's a code. You just can't take people's stuff. And Fez started like trying to like lightly just pick her up and stuff. And then Rue like shoved Fez back, and then Fez is like, I'm not messing around anymore. You're out of here. So chucked her out of his house as Mouse is like watching TV, or Ashtray is watching the TV. And this is the final sequence of the show where she goes back to that drug dealer from earlier. It's like, what do you have? And she, the woman injects her with some morphine. Rue does not bring up that she does not have the money. We'll bring up that she'll get the money soon. And John was like, I don't think you're the type of person, the way you're looking right now, that you'd be the type of person to get me money back soon. And then, Rue falls asleep after going in the bath. She wakes up and everything's locked. So she escapes, and we basically end the episode with Rue after her mom and sister were looking for her all day. The next day, I think, whatever it is, Rue does come through the door to end the episode. So this is a truly authentic episode, not just from a drug user and a drug addiction person like Rue. And I thought if you watch the Enter Euphoria aspect of the episode, it's a mixture of both. Yes, the authenticity that Zendaya's character is, but also the authenticity of how this affects friends and, more importantly, also family. How the mom went through the ups and downs this episode, caring for her child, locking her out of a room, driving to the ER, chasing her down all day, and the sister being there, not being helpful, and the idea of when to be helpful, and all these different things. Like, you really can't imagine being the Rue's mother in this situation. And I thought they did a fabulous job doing that. Great performances by the whole family, the mom, the sister, and of course Zendaya as usual. But they really showed the greatness of what it's like to be a drug addictor and all those different types of stuff, but how that affects family. And then how it affects friends. Like, do you mean everything that you're saying? When she talked to Jules, starting the Cassie Nate stuff, all that different types of stuff. I thought they did a great job with the authenticity. It was really well shot, a lot of great symbolism. But Zendaya, who for a lot of people was the show the first season, yes, I totally was she deserved to win that Emmy. I do feel like that this is an ensemble show, but this episode was truly hers to do. It felt like a one take the first 15, 20 minutes of the episode. The ups and downs of being funny, of being so sick, of being a total train wreck, all was going through her mind. And the performance, and Levinson said they filmed this for like a month. You can tell it's a really amazing performance, a tough episode to do, but Zendaya came through, and I thought this was her best episode she's ever acted in her entire acting career. I thought this was the peak. This has so far been the best. That was the best, whatever it was, 55 minutes of Zendaya's career. I even loved her again in season 1. Talk about her movie roles, but this was her best acting of her career, I thought, in this episode. And there's a reason why it was quickly trending #1 on Twitter. Like, once the episode dropped, everyone was trying to talk about Zendaya, and absolutely deserved so. So the promo for next week got me very excited, because now it's out of the hat now. Everyone knows that Cassie was with Nate. Everyone knows that Rue relapsed after rehab. And stuff finally has, some people who will say, have happened. And we cannot wait to see what happens in the final. I really cannot wait for the final 3 episodes. This is a really special show. One of my favorite shows of the last 10, 15 years. It's a really fantastic show from start to finish. And it continues to get better each and every week. So I'll be back the next 3 weeks giving my spoiler breakdowns of Euphoria. Is also, by the way, the last time we recorded, it has been renewed for season 3. So this is not the last 3 episodes of the show, but the last 3 of this season. So please like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. More videos, including my box office breakdown show today, Book of Boba Fett season finale breakdown, Peacemaker Kiwi review on Thursday, Marry Me review on Friday, and we're back here on Monday with another box office and Euphoria breakdown. So please subscribe, ring the bell. I'll see you guys soon.